How's it going, everybody? It's Matt from Casually Crowded 3D again, and we're going to take a look at another third-party transformer. This time it's Iron Factory IF EX-66 Blade of Halphas, or their Guyhawk, the final member of our Iron Factory's Breast Force team for Lyle Kaiser. This is, I guess it's not technically our last one. It's the last one that we need to actually form the combiner. I know that we're going to be getting Death Cobra after this, which is the extra member, and he'll apparently be able to become an arm and become a backpack or whatever when we do eventually get him. But for now, we can actually finish the base Lyle Kaiser, which will be nice. But take a look at the box. On the front, looks pretty much the same. There's your nice little thing on the side, and from the back just some more promo shots showing Lyle Kaiser there, and then up here it still says 2024. I guess that's when it was initially supposed to release, but obviously this is 2025 when I got it. And of course, you're going to also get his set of instructions, purple for Decepticons, CAD drawings, not going to really look into that too much. But here he is. And of course, he's gonna come packaged in his bot mode, but I like to have him. I like to start off in the alt mode, so here he is in his jet mode. And of course, ignore the faction symbols. I always say that because he doesn't have those on them, because this is a third-party transformer and they would get sued for that. But as far as the jet, it looks pretty good, about as good as the other two jets that we got. From the top, they look great. From the side, maybe not so much, just because there is a whole robot packed underneath the wings. But that's kind of what Transformers jets have been known to do. So whatever. It looks great though. The detail looks good. It looks the part. But we are going to get a bunch of accessories with him, as we always do, and we'll start with his combiner parts. So of course we're going to get the left side hand and forearm cover for Lyle Kaiser. So that's his main combiner component. We're going to get this elbow cover for, obviously, the elbow, for it'll cover the joint for when he is in the combined mode. We're going to get another one of these. I think that we got it with, I think we got another one with Hellbat. It's like a handle for the hand, where the real long pieces are going to attach to make his staff, I believe. So we got another one of those. We also get another one of these. That means that we have 6 of them now with each of the members. So this is going to be a crazy long weapon. But of course it's jointed in a whole bunch of different spots, and you can take sections off to do whatever with. But we'll see what else we can do with that later in the combined video. We're also going to get his usual spear that that we got with all the other ones. You can take these off, and then you can put the additional pieces on here, which, by the way, we also get these, which are his knives, I suppose. But you can have them like this. You can angle them forwards on this joint for some kind of like reverse handed sickle or something like that. And you can actually, with this post here, you can put the spear piece in, and you can make some kind of pole arm or staff weapon, kind of like how you could with a couple of the other ones, how you can put their weapons on the sides. So we have those. Of course, we're going to also come with all of his hand options. We have some open hands, some karate chop or salute hands. We have some holding hands, and there's going to be fists that are already on him. These are all the exact same hands that we got with Hellbat, so nothing new there. We're going to get the fake chest for mounting it in robot mode, so we have that. We also have the fake blaster mode for it. Looks a little bit better than what the transformed one does. It's just all painted. It's just pink plastic. And then we have the actual Breastmaster himself. So here we are. This is it in the chest armor mode. Obviously, taking a look at them. I also wanted to point out the pink here is showing up a lot more red on camera. It's definitely like a really dark pink. It's definitely not as red as it's showing up here on camera. Even on the box itself, it kind of makes it look like he's got a little bit like a purple hue to it, but it's definitely kind of like a really dark, almost red kind of color. But he's it's not too bad. Kind of like a Hellbat. I feel like the color is just slightly off from what it should be. It's just like a little too saturated or something. I think. Feel like it should have been like a little bit lighter to match his character a little bit better. But straight into transformation. All that we're going to need to do to start off is put the landing gear up. These landing gear have to stay down for a minute just for the leg transformation. But we're going to come back here, and the arms are attached underneath the wings right here. So you're just going to pull down on that and separate them from that little peg. We're just going to kind of move the wings up to get them out of the way. Separate that from the arm. Get them out of the way. Then what we're going to do is just how we did on Hellbat and on Leozak. Just lift up the arms on this double joint right here and plug them back into the torso. Same thing on the other side. Plug it into the torso. And just kind of rotate the upper arm and pull the fist out of that little recessed section in here. Like that. Then what we're going to do is these little panels right here, or these little sections up here, these little intakes, they're on double joint here and here. Just kind of pull them out and set them on top of the arms like this. Same thing on the other side. Pull it on the double joint. Set them on top of the arm like that. Then we're just going to kind of pull the head forwards a little bit just to give us clearance. And then there's two tiny little pegs in there that the nose of the jet plugs into. Just kind of pull them up. And you can see where I'm talking about. Just be careful of those. I can see those maybe breaking because they're kind of attached at a weird angle right here. You can see that. I would be concerned about that breaking if you're not careful. But pull up on this, and then you're going to kind of push down to get it clear of this part right here on this ball joint. Then bring it around like this, rotate it 180 degrees, and then just bring it down and collapse it onto the back right here. And then we can just get the wings out of the way. And then his head, just kind of bring that panel back down and turn it around to face the right direction. And now down here to the legs, all that we're going to need to do is just kind of pull this part here apart and just kind of pull out a little bit, and these panels will start to come up. And you're just going to lift them up, and the fins will go with them. Lift it up out of the way just to give clearance, because these little sections here will tab in behind those gray parts. But now we can pull them until they click up here in these sections on the pink parts. And then we can just push those panels back down. It'll kind of lock that joint in place. Then we can just separate the legs. These fins will fold in, and these fins will fold that way. Or you can fold them the other way if you want to. I like to fold them this way. Then the landing gear, you're just going to push forwards into that little section here, just to get them out of the way, and that will free up the toe, which you can pull down. And then there he is. That's Guyhawk, all transformed. And I apologize for all the frequent cuts. My neighbor seems to have gotten a new muffler for his dirt bike, and he seems to think it's a good idea to ride up and down the road past my house. So, might be cutting quite a bit in this video. So, let's just go straight to articulation. So, I guess we'll start here in the back. The wings are on ball joints, so you can move those, get those oriented in whichever way you want to get him look however you want him to. His head up here, it has a joint that's meant more for like the combined mode that allows you to kind of like look forwards a bit and look up quite a bit. Maybe you can use that for posing. But mainly there's just a ball joint underneath the head, and he can get all kinds of movement from that because his head doesn't have like a crazy design to it, so he can move it around quite a bit. These parts up here can be a little bit annoying. They're not actually attached to the arms. They're kind of like flaps that just kind of go above the shoulders. and they just kind of get in the way of everything, and they're kind of hard to make them look decent in poses. But there is a joint up here in the torso that you can use to get them out of the way. So if you get them out of the way, there is of course a ball joint up here, so you can move that however which way you want to for the shoulder. And then there's a little mushroom peg here at the bicep, which allows you to get 360-degree rotation there. There is a double jointed hinge here for the elbow to allow you to get the whole way. It's a little tight on mine. There you go. You can get all the way up 180 degrees. And then, of course, the fists are ball jointed, so you can move those however you want to. And, of course, you can swap them out for any of the other hand options if you would like to. Down here at the waist, it is a little restricted just because of the wings, but you can rotate it. You could rotate it 360 degrees if you, like, just be careful with the wings. So you have that. There doesn't seem to be any kind of ab crunch because that's more just for the transformation to combine mode, so I'm not going to count that. For the hips here, I did forget to mention this. This panel here does kind of move a little bit to give you maybe a little bit more clearance for the legs, but it just kind of starts to undo his torso. But there's ball joints here in the hips, allows you to get that far forwards. Not very far back at all just because of that panel. It's even worse on this one than it was on Hellbat. There's like no movement back. And you can get the legs to go out all the way. There is another peg on the inside of the, or on the thigh rather. It allows you to get 360-degree rotation there. And there is a double jointed knee, which allows you to get about, maybe not 180, but because the fin just kind of gets in the way, but you can still get it pretty far. There is a ball joint up here into the calf, which connects to the foot, so you can get your range of movement here. Or I'm sorry, it does actually connect into the foot right there, which you can get decent posability out of the foot. Then the toe is articulated, mainly for transformation, but you can use it for like flight poses. So. Yeah, normal transformation or normal articulation. I don't think it's kind of limited in some of the parts. Definitely more so than some of the others. So I think this is probably one of the least articulated ones. Up there next to what's his name? Kill Bison was the other one that was like barely articulated. But part of the design, I suppose. I'm not really a fan of how they did the shoulders. I wish there was a different way to get those to connect to the arms, because it just doesn't work out quite how I would imagine it would. But as far as his accessories, obviously he can hold any of his weapons with just swapping out the smaller hands, so I'm not going to bother showing any of that. But I will show his little Breastmaster buddy here. Can plug in with that little peg right into his chest, right like so. And actually, I don't think it looks that bad. It's one of the better looking Breastmaster things out of the group. I think it looks decent. It does kind of cover up his face a little bit here with the fin on the back of the bird's head, but it's not too bad. I definitely won't be using it like that though. So I'll pull him off. Mine is very, very tight on there, and his leg just went flying off. But mine is very tight in there. I might actually have to use a spudger to get it back out. There we go. Ooh, careful with that. You can see that getting stressed. Hopefully yours isn't as tight as mine is. But you can also take his fake chest and put it right in the same hole, which of course I think looks way, way, way better. So I will be probably displaying mine like that. And of course his little Breastmaster buddy, you can turn him into his gun mode, which all that it really entails is this thing here. You just kind of rotate around so the barrels are showing, and then that's it. That's the gun mode. Here's the replacement gun, which, I mean, this definitely looks a lot better than this, so I would probably use this over this. It just don't look very good. But we can, of course, turn this into his bird mode. So just kind of take the legs down, and you can rotate this back. I think it looks better being up like this, and then just lift, or this little gray piece here, lower that, and then lift the little head out, and then put the gray piece back in like that, and then just flip out the wings like so. So there's his little bird buddy. I guess it's a hawk, because Guyhawk, you know, but tiny little bird dude. Alright, size comparison time. Here he is next to Magic Square's Jazz. Show you a Carbot size. And Magic Square's Megatron. There's some G1 stuff. And how about a couple more Iron Factory products? Here is Iron Factory's Wheeljack. And Iron Factory's Galvatron. And here is the entire team together, and oh man, do they look good. They look fantastic together. Obviously, because they're supposed to be a team, but they look fantastic. Very happy with how they look together anyways. Alright, so that's it for Iron Factory EX-66 Blade of Halphas, their Guyhawk. Obviously, I'm not going to go over their combined mode transformation in this video. That's going to be the next video coming up. I'll put them all together, finally, form Liokaiser. But for this guy, I mean, it's a pretty good figure. I don't think that it's my favorite, just because it does have some weird stuff going on there with the faux shoulder armor. It does kind of just get in the way of the articulation. The butt flap is kind of limiting a little bit with the articulation on the legs as well, and the actual little bird companion down there, his breastmaster, it doesn't quite look right. I think it's because the head is attached like a little too high on the neck, or doesn't even have a neck at all. It just kind of has a hard time standing. But let's be honest, we don't really buy these guys for the little animal companions. We buy them because we want to combine them, right? So I can reserve judgment for that. But the color seems like it's a little bit off from what I would imagine Guyhawk would be. I definitely thought that he would be a little bit lighter of a color, definitely like a lighter pink, but that's kind of just like a nitpick. Overall, his articulations, it's decent. The articulation's there, it's just kind of limited by some of his design aspects, unfortunately. But he's, all in all, a pretty good figure. And of course, he looks really good next to all of his teammates. But yeah, that's it for this guy. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure that you like the video, comment, subscribe, check out my channel for all my other reviews, and check out all the other guys' reviews that I've done for this series so far for Liokaiser. Keep an eye out for the combined video. It's going to be probably posted pretty soon here. But if you'd like to give me a follow on Patreon, I'd really appreciate it. I post all of my stuff there for my Armored Core model kits if you're into that. If not, then if you just want to support me, hey, that's how you do it. But if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate the hell out of you, of course, and I will see you in the next one.